Alrighty, Cassy. Well, today was our first day at the range. It was amazing. You're going to enjoy golf because you're a long way towards being an accomplished golfer already. I watched your video a few times inside. I did pick up on a few things that I think would give you some consistency because you've already got power. All we have to do is give you some consistency and basically get you aiming because, you already have power. So one of the things that I see you do is, I mentioned it on the range, is your right elbow is getting way back here. Your shoulders are kind of turning flat on the way back. And what we want them to do is to turn more inclined on the way back. So basically to just let this right hip get back and stay down. So the other thing that's happening when you're going backwards is you're standing up, right? So we see you stand up and turn around flat, but then you drop down and you make a move into the ball that looks like any pro I've ever seen. Your hands are out a little bit far, okay? That we'll get them in here once you understand what you're trying to do with the club. You'll get your hand path down, but I think the things that we'll work on is when you take that club back to really be kind of conscious of what your head's doing and not don't just rear back and then go down and try to hit it. You're down there great. What we're going to do by eliminating that up and down is we're going to develop some consistency, because if you can get that more of a round and round where the head doesn't move and the rest of the body, kind of like a pigeon or whatever, can move independently, you're going to be able to apply that energy as hard as you want. And what you're finding now is that going up and then coming down, you're not getting a consistent strike. Sometimes you're on the toe, sometimes you hook it, draw it to the left, sometimes it goes out to the right, so that you're getting all these different strikes. And that's basically because you've got this inconsistency with the up and down. So I think get your right shoulder going more towards the target. Some people think of this left shoulder going under your chin. Don't think about that too much, because what that can do, the problem with left shoulder under your chin is that it tends to move your head off the ball. So instead, make it right scapula towards the target, right? So that's all I do. My head doesn't have to move for my shoulder blade to just do that. Just a little bit of motion, my shoulder blade's there. Now, the other thing, when you notice when you go back, you want this club to be out here in front of you. You don't want to have it back here. I know from your softball, you had it back here. I'm trying to work with what your swing already is, and turn it into something that's going to be just much more consistent. You notice I didn't try to change your wrist hinge. I don't have any wrist hinge either, and I saw you weren't using any and figured, okay, she doesn't use wrist hinge, that's fine. Your left heel comes off the ground, mine does too, and then I take a step into it. I think when you see my footwork up close, you're going to realize it looks like a softball swing too. But work on getting the right shoulder towards the target, and so that gets you more vertical, right? And then let that right hip go back. When you don't let that right hip go back, you have to stand up to make that turn. But if you make that turn and let that hip go back, your head can stay down here. And that's fine for your hip to be here, because it's going to trade places with the other hip on the way down, right? And then you're already into this position. You already know how to make this hip. You're doing it from up here and you're sitting into it. I'm going to show you how to just turn into it, right? And when you can just turn into it, you're going to be much more consistent and have much more power. And the power you have already can be applied into launching that ball. I'm amazed how far you can hit it already. And I guarantee you, if you wanted to, you could probably be shooting or breaking 100 by the end of summer. So let's see how it goes, and I'll go inside, edit this down, and send it to you. Thanks.